Hey everybody, my name's Barrie Petersen. I'm your local Long Beach real estate agent with Compass. Have you been thinking about moving out of Southern California? Well, you're not alone. A lot of people have. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Summer Aston. She is a Boise, Idaho real estate specialist helping people specifically in the Treasure Valley area of Idaho. Let's listen to Summer now.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. So, Summer, I'm so excited to have you here today. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Barry. It's really nice to be joining you today. I'm Summer Aston. I'm from Boise, Idaho. I'm a realtor here. I've lived in the Boise area for just about 20 years, and I'm originally from Manhattan Beach. And then when I was a teenager, my family moved to the Sacramento area. So my husband and I moved here for grad school, and then we just really loved it. So we chose to stay here because we just thought it was such a great place to live, and it was going to be a great place to raise our kids, which we've raised our children here. And it's pretty close to California, so we can make it to the Sacramento area in a one-day drive. And we usually drive to Southern California in one day. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but so you can get to the Southern California beaches from Boise in about 14 and a half hours if you're really committed. So
Well, that's a long day of driving.
yeah, but still just a day's drive from the beach.
What'd you go
It's a
to
long
grad
day.
school for?
So my husband, he went to grad school and in instructional technology. My degree is actually in environmental science. So,
There you
but I
go.
started selling real estate a few years ago, and just always really wanted to help people that way. I've always followed the real estate markets, and so I've just really enjoyed my career so far with selling real estate.
Cool. And so tell me a little bit about where you guys live and, what you love about living there and what other people who might be thinking about moving from Southern California to the Boise area, what they would love about it too.
So I think the main thing people like about coming here is that it has a little bit of a definitely a smaller town feel. Boise is still a city though. So that's one of my favorite things is that we have the benefit of having a city with anything we could want from a city like the arts and culture, but still just being minutes from lots of outdoor recreation, and everything is very accessible. So we never have to say like, oh, I'm not going downtown right now because traffic is so bad. Like if I need to take my kids downtown to music rehearsal, then it's no big deal. We drive downtown to music rehearsal at 5 o'clock. So that's probably our favorite thing. Is just the variety of options here, as far as, like I said, outdoor recreation, arts and culture, pretty much everything you get in a bigger city, just smaller and compacted, and then very accessible. So those are our favorite things about it. I think coming from California, people are really liking the accessibility to that outdoor recreation. Even though I know you lose the beach, you gain a lot quicker access to mountains and mountain biking, lakes and rivers, camping, backpacking, desert recreation too. And all of that you can get to within, a half an hour to an hour and a half, depending on where you're going. And so it's not, like if my kids want to go up skiing after school, then they just, when they're done with classes, they just head up to the mountain and it takes them 45 minutes to get up there. So it's not like a whole day event or a whole weekend event to do any outdoor recreation.
That sounds really great. And so a little bit about you're in Boise and what are the surrounding areas, cities that you're helping people buy and sell in right now?
Yeah, so I actually live in Eagle, right close to the Boise border. But when we first moved here, we lived downtown or the southeast Boise area, close to the university. So great area. When we bought our first house, we lived in southwest Boise, which is south of the freeway. We love that area too. We eventually moved to Eagle because we wanted to be closer to the trails and the foothills. We use the trails a lot, so we wanted to be close to those, closer to camping and things like that. So that worked out for us. So I help people buy houses in the whole Treasure Valley, which it's not that big. So it's only takes about 45 minutes to an hour to drive from one end of the Treasure Valley to the other before it's like totally the middle of nowhere in any direction. But that includes Boise, Eagle, Star, Meridian, Cuna, Nampa, Caldwell, Middleton. I think I got them all. So those are the main areas, and they're all close enough that I've helped people buy homes in all of those areas.
Great. And you mentioned you have kids. Do you mind telling me a little bit about the schools?
Yeah, so we've kind of done the gamut of education as far as everything Idaho has to offer. So Idaho has, of course, the public schools, and then there are public charter schools. The West Ada School District has public magnet schools. So the charter schools are usually more focused on a particular learning style, or maybe like a character count system or something like that. They have a little bit more leeway in how they choose to educate. The magnet schools are focused on either STEM or arts, and so there's some choices there for the schools. And then of course there's private schools, and then there's homeschooling here is very easy to do. And then there's also dual enrollment, where you can homeschool your kids and then have them go to public school for part of the time. So we've actually done all of those options except for private schooling. And not because we were unhappy with the school, but I chose just to do what was best for my individual children at the time. So one thing that I really love about the school districts here, both, so Boise School District covers all the Boise towns, and then West Ada School District covers Meridian and Eagle and Star. And it's a really large school district. So, but they're pretty similar in what they offer. They do have some differences. But one thing that we have really loved is that they have great resources for music programs, sports, for arts, and science. There's a school called the Treasure Valley Math and Science Center, which is sponsored by Micron, and it's for very advanced kids starting usually like 6th grade, all the way up through high school, who are very, very advanced in math and science. And then of course there's also really great vocational programs here. So like my son did all of the auto mechanics classes, and then he was able to get a good job because of that. He's a senior in high school still, but he's been able to get a really good job for a senior because of those auto mechanics classes. So,
So important.
Yeah.
That's great. So in a nutshell, what's the real estate market like up there?
Exhausting. So in a nutshell, when people come, what they need to expect is it's not as cheap as some people expect. They come and I hear a lot, well, this is Idaho, it should cost less money. The fact is it doesn't, and there's a couple reasons why. One, Boise is an amazing place to live, and people are figuring that out. And two, the demand is just much, much, much higher than the supply. And so, you know, a lot of native people don't have a big motivator to move or to sell. So we have very low inventory. And then, you know, some of the things that have happened with COVID and those types of things. So the builders are being very cautious and releasing very cautiously, you know, to make sure that they can keep up with the demand, make sure that they can hire the right people, make sure they're pricing things correctly as the home prices rise. So and we don't have, as much as we do have open space around the towns in Boise, it's mostly just like the builders just kind of have to wait for farmers to get to decide they're going to sell off. And so it just develops a lot differently than what some people are used to seeing in some of the California cities. So we definitely have growing pains. So it's a very, very competitive market. So if you're coming here to buy a house, you need to expect that it does not matter the house, the price point of the house. You will have multiple offers and you will have to pay over asking. If you have a house to sell, you need to figure out a way to make an offer non-contingent on selling that house. So, you can talk to Barrie about that. I'm sure she knows all about that. Lots of options, from different financing options to, to selling your house first and renting, which is what some people are doing. Our rental market is also very, very tight. So a lot of people end up doing short-term rentals or Airbnbs for a while. So it just kind of depends. So it's a very, very competitive market, and just be prepared that it may take several offers until you get the right house. And also be prepared that there's multiple offers with the builders too.
Oh, really? New construction doesn't sound much different than existing homes.
And it really depends on the builder and how they are going about releasing things. But it's not so much the builders trying to be greedy, it's more the buyers demanding that they have a chance to buy a house. The builders used to just kind of do one person at a time, especially if the builders agents were writing the contracts. They didn't want to do more than they needed to. But then the demand of the buyers was such that it was like, well, we're all on this waiting list. We want equal chance at things, and sometimes the builder would kind of work with one person, and then that person would fizzle out and they'd go to the next person. They just don't have time for that. The demand is too high. So many of the builders are going to allow multiple offers too. Typically with the new construction jobs, you won't see the prices getting driven up in multiple offer situations quite as high as you might see in existing homes, but it's still happening. So.
Would you be able to share a couple of your recent purchase or recent sales that you've helped buyers with, so some of these Southern California people can get an idea of what a home might what the pricing might look like when they want to come and see some in Boise?
Yeah, sure. So the average cost of a home in the Ada County for the whole county is just above $400,000. A lot of the Southern California buyers that I'm working with, they tend to be looking in more like a $600,000 to $800,000 price range. And it becomes a little bit hard to find homes in that price range, just because there are a lot more homes in our valley that were originally built to be more like 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath types of homes that will be listed for that, $400,000 to $450,000 price range. That price range that's around $400,000 to $450,000 is actually incredibly competitive, though, even though there's more inventory with that, because you've got the first-time home buyers with downsizers, with investors, because we have a lot of investors who are getting rid of all their properties in California with several of the issues that are going on there, and just 1031ing everything over into Idaho. So I have even had cash investor type buyers at that price point who are doing multiple offers against other cash investors. And at some point as an investor, it's got to make financial sense for you. So there's kind of a cap on that. So anyways, but yeah, for the other price point, you could expect to find, so in Meridian, a home that was maybe built in the early 2000s. There's a lot of homes that were built in the early 2000s, because that's when we had our last really big real estate boom. So you could get about a 3,000 square foot house that was, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, maybe on a 1/4 acre lot, a home that was built very nicely. So granite countertops, wood floors, and lots of upgrades, but most likely those are still going to be in the era of the early 2000s. Very nice quality, but maybe kind of outdated by what, we see on TV right now. But they could expect a home to list for around $599 to $625 in Meridian at that type of a home, but it will end up selling for about $630 to $650. So that's what they could expect in Meridian.
What about the new construction that you've been mentioning? What do some of the brand new homes sell for?
So if you go with a little bit higher end builder, you know, a builder that is going to put in wood floors in the whole house and have lots of trim detailing and quartz countertops and higher end lighting and all those types of things. If you go in with they'll still, almost all of them are still spec homes though, meaning that the builder has chosen everything that goes in the house. So you just have to be okay with that. They just don't have time to do custom homes. So that price point, again, really depends on where you're living, but Southwest Boise, or I'm sorry, Southwest Meridian, they're doing a lot of building there. So I just toured some new construction homes with a client last weekend. And so for about a 2,800 square foot single story home that had 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, but very, very nice, big cathedral ceilings and lots of details. Though that home was listed for $750,000. The base prices for that's in a community called Sky Mesa. A lot of people really like, the lots are a little bit bigger. The base prices for that builder are anywhere from the high 5s to the mid 7s in that area of town. And then on top of that, there's a lot premium. And then that particular builder does allow you to make individual design choices. So most of those homes will end up coming in around $750,000 to $850,000 in that area of town. If you are in another really popular area in northwest Boise, right on the Eagle border, called Dry Creek Ranch or Cartwright Ranch, the home prices are a little bit higher. So for Dry Creek, that 3,000 square feet home on a larger, like a third of an acre lot, is going to end up coming in at closer to $900,000. And Cartwright Ranch does offer really nice patio homes, which a lot of downsizers really like because they don't have yards, but they're still very high end, like 2,000 square feet, single story type patio homes. Those homes are selling for right around $500,000 to $550,000. Eagle is a really popular area. A lot of people coming from Southern California kind of really hone in on Eagle. Right now, Eagle has a big shortage of new construction. There is one neighborhood called Homestead that if any people have been watching Zillow, they always call and ask me about. The prices on Zillow for Homestead are not even close to accurate. I think it has them listed as like 350 plus. When those lots get released to build, which is supposed to be soon, they keep telling me, they're going to start at $700,000, and that's going to be for about a 2,500 square foot house on a minimum of a 12,000 square foot lot.
See, there's one more reason to not believe what you see on Zillow.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are in the country. Their information isn't correct.
Right. And for our area, I don't really know why, but they're not often marking houses as pending when they really are pending. And so I'm not sure if it's because the inventory is so low, they're trying to like keep houses on there.
Yep.
But yeah, I get a lot of calls about homes. Oh, well, this house just came on the market. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Zillow says it's there. And I'm like,
yeah. Trust a realtor. Don't trust Zillow, people. Yeah. So, but it sounds like there is a wide range of prices for people to look at. It is not only high end. There still are some opening price points that are still very attractive coming from Southern California. And so what I just wanted Summer to be able to do, and she did a great job, is just giving us a little bit of a variety to look at and to hear about what the prices are going on. But what's really clear and important for everybody to realize is that it's not much different from Southern California as far as how the transaction and how getting an offer accepted is going to work. It's not a piece of cake. There's a process to it. And so it takes finding a trusted real estate advisor to help you go through that process. It is not for the weary, and not to do on your own either. So Summer, I think that that's pretty much all we talked about talking about. So I appreciate so much for you coming on to the call. And if you wouldn't be opposed, could you just quickly tell people how they could get in touch with you, and then I'll make sure to put the information down below the video.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, so if you're looking to move to Boise area, or you know anyone else that is looking into it, and you just want to ask me some questions, the best way to contact me is really through email. It's summerastonrealestate@gmail.com, or you can go to my website at summerastonrealestate.com. There's some various things on my website. It's still kind of getting up and running. I've changed things on there, but pretty soon there should be a button for you to get a relocation guide through the website, and then also set up a time for a phone call or to contact me through some other ways that way. So that's usually the best way to contact me. It works a little bit better than trying to call me, because I can respond through email at any time of day and get that response to you.
Hey, if leaving Southern California has been on your mind, but you don't know where to start, give me a call. I'm here to help. I have agents across the country ready to help you with your next move while we together sell your home locally. Give me a call anytime. Have a great day, everybody.